How is your perspective not serving you? How are the ways that your narratives about yourself or other people not serving you?
Right.
And that led me towards not just doing yoga poses.
Wei-Ming, a joyful presence, a seeker moving through life with curiosity and adventure. He's an enthusiastic climber, yoga and mindfulness instructor. We met at a coffee shop here in Seattle. I was ordering my drink and I look over, he was holding one of my favorite books, which is The Alchemist in Portuguese. As it turns out that his mother grew up in Brazil and he has been improving his Portuguese, reading books and traveling back and forth to Brazil. Quite coincidence or not, that felt like a sign. So if it wasn't this Alchemist book, we probably wouldn't be here today. I'm glad The Alchemist was there between us. Because you learning Portuguese right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big for me when someone stepped forward to learn a new foreign language, they got immersed. And I feel like that a lot from you. Since we met like the first time, it's like, wow, it's been a while I haven't seen an immersed in the culture. Not like actually just trying to speak the language, but also understanding the moves, understanding the food and how people mindset works. Like I can see that on you as a learner, because I did that with English. Here we talk about his mission to spark joy and possibility. With his roots in China, Brazil, and US, he shares how growing up between cultures shaped his path as a climber, mindfulness teacher, and creative soul. I call this one following the signs, exactly as Paulo Coelho says in the Alchemist book. All things are linked and signs are connections in that web, and understand them bring us a little bit closer to the soul of the world. And maybe, just maybe, meeting Wei-Ming in that coffee shop was one of those signs telling me to keep going with the Stories to Feel Alive podcast. Oh, wow. So
dual cultures climbing.
Yeah, so you were talking about, I asked you, how does those experiences shaped you nowadays, today? How that shaped you as a person, as a human being? And those exchanging from climbing to, I mean, I know you said you love climbing. I want you can freely say about your climbing experience, but yogi and everything else.
I think over time, what I realized with climbing was that, it's almost like an infinite game. You train, you go climb something hard, and as soon as you check that box, it can be like, oh, now I gotta go find another big thing. And this kind of treadmill, like a treadmill that you could be on in any pursuit, right? If it's getting more money, or if it's finding another job, or graduating from another program, right? And I think that pointed me over time towards an inner life, like finding out what is, maybe there's some sort of gap or a hole inside of me that I'm trying to fill by doing these things outside. And of course, if you keep looking around enough, or at least I find if folks keep looking around enough, you end up having to look inside, because the problem's not really out there, like in this reality that we live in.
Yes.
It's finding the way inside to have it's like working your way in order to go out.
Definitely.
I don't know if that makes sense. But
makes sense. Yeah, I agree with that.
How is your perspective not serving you? How are the ways that your narratives about yourself or other people not serving you?
Right.
And that led me towards not just doing yoga poses, but looking at yoga, learning about yoga philosophy, and eventually looking into scripture and finding a spiritual path that could help me live in alignment with ultimate truth.
Right.
Which is what, like, you peel back the layer, any tradition, it's that we're all one, right? That we need it. If it's just even from a scientific material standpoint, we're all on this speck of dirt. Floating in the ocean, floating in the solar system together. We got no choice. This is what we got.
Yeah, there's no choice.
It's us.
Yeah. So then how did you unlock that? I know it's for the ones that are still seeking and has those challenge to unlock that, because you got to be permissive and shape awareness around you to become, everybody has your own process of unlock themselves. I what I understood that he's saying climb helped you out. Yoga got deeper and had a depth of this awareness. So then how that experience looks like to you? Like how was like in this material world, how was that for you? I wonder, like, can you give me like a scenario of this? Like that you have a click, you have a shift, and you're like, oh no, it's just done, or like I got you know what I mean? Like I can't be in this place anymore or something.
Sure.
Like give me like a concrete, a solid example just to see if I can.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing that's coming to mind is actually this morning while I was having breakfast before we met. Mm-hmm. I had made myself some overnight oats yesterday, which whenever I do something like that for myself in the future, I always think, wow, thanks me in the past
yeah.
for loving me, for taking care of me. And when I was sitting and I did a little prayer before I ate. And when I was doing that little mini prayer, it's not long, this little insight came to me that said, if I'm going to love God, I have to love myself too. Because God is in me. And according to my belief system, God made where we are. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of points to the more core thing beneath that need for love, or that wanting to offer myself love, is I've got a really big old nasty inner critic, and I've named him Oscar after Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street.
Right.
Because, one way to think about the inner critic is an overly critical voice. So I thought, and what would that be? Oscar Grouch, right?
Right.
And yeah, if a person is living with a negative voice in their head, which I find it can be many people, eventually I got tired of listening to that voice.
Yes.
And I think a lot of us do get tired.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Because it's never enough, right? You're never going to be enough. That's part of my inner critic narrative. It criticizes me. It criticizes everybody.
Yeah.
And I think folks probably, it takes getting tired of whatever it is that happens to be the internal blockages that keep holding them back, to what you have to get really, really tired of it
Yeah.
to want to make a change.
Yes.
And so for me, that happened to be quite a bit of time ago, but.
So then you feel like you overdo something so long, like you're tired, makes you shift. When you get tired, you make the click of shifting your experience. Is that how you
I'm not sure I understand the question.
like, so it means like getting tired makes the sense of you feel that you got to make a change. Is that how you see
maybe not tired. I guess getting tired of that voice.
the voice? Yeah.
Right, but you could say it's like when you get tired of suffering from whatever that self-inflicted stuff is.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I feel like it's a sense of collapse. That's how everything changes. So once collapse, it make change, which is not bad. It's good.
Yeah, change is amazing.
Yeah, it comes from this, like this.
Change has to
Annoy.
change.
I mean,
yeah,
so-
yeah.
It's also sort of a way of grateful of this voice, because you can't, how people are gonna awake without collapse. I mean, they can. I mean, it takes more work, inner work than we think without the collapse. But I think the collapse, it's kind of like crucial, experience. Like, okay, it's how they say about the power phoenix, I guess,
The power of the phoenix.
the phoenix, like there's people that go towards that way, but there's other people that just decide to, I see and make choice. I don't need to collapse.
Yeah, I mean, for those people, yes, don't
Yes,
collapse.
yeah,
Just know that you need to make a change and make the change. It's a lot less suffering.
yeah. Be gentle.
Yeah.
Be gentle, right? Yeah, but it's nice. Then from that on, you just decide to keep your lifestyle with yoga and what else are you teaching? How are you keeping the strength of your lifestyle to keep loyal to yourself, keep
Yeah.
loyal to yourself.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I think it's, we've gone into one sort of extreme so far, which is like, oh, like the inner voices and all this stuff. I got to figure all these things out. And I think on the other side, it can be just very simple.
Yeah.
Really, seriously, because I'm a person that has tended to go like over serious, and it can just be as simple as like giving yourself water when you need it,
Yeah.
right? Washing your face in the morning,
Yeah.
just doing. A good friend of mine likes to remind me. He has had many. I believe in his words, depression has taken big swings at him and his family. And he oftentimes reminds me, action precedes motivation.
Yeah.
Action precedes motivation.
That's a nice.
And has been, I've heard it in many, many different ways. Like it's easier to act your way into a new way of being than to think your way into a new way of being. That's another way to say the same thing.
Yeah.
But whatever lands for people, right?
Yeah.
Like I think wisdom is one. It's an eternal. It's simple. But it's figuring out how to listen to it.
Yeah.
Wherever you get a spark of information that, a piece of information or a piece of wisdom that sparks something in you.
Yeah.
You gotta like get that spark and.
That's real. That's real.
Because if you're not, it's like you catch the spark and then it just.
So in any case, that's really I just got something right here. It was
spark something for you.
No, it was like I think somewhere in Buddhism says like from the mind to the heart to the hands. So you can you take from your mind, you go to your heart, and you kind of like sitting on there to make the actions, which is your hands, and then that's so similar. That's so cool.
Yeah,
Sure.
because like it does have to come from a feeling,
Yeah.
Because we live in our bodies.
Yeah.
I know we tend to in the West. It's we have a pretty thinky culture. Like we got to figure it out. One of my mentors in my meditation teacher training program, La Sarmiento, they will have told us in our small groups, they would tell us, I am not using the word I'm going to figure it out for anything except for what restaurant are we going to go to tonight? Or when am I going to do the laundry? But all the other things, I'm not going to try to figure it out. Right?
Yeah. Do you think you got this difference between the dual culture that you were raised by, like the Chinese and Brazilian?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a difference between the mindset or American? Sorry, you can tell me better. Like,
don't worry.
Yeah.
I would say it's almost like triune culture.
Yeah.
Because I'm ethnically Chinese. I did 99andMe or Forever and Me, the DNA testing, and I'm like 99% Chinese with a sprinkling of Mongol.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'm essentially full-blooded Chinese, born in America, with a mother who grew up in Brazil.
Yeah.
And if you look at like those three cultures, the Chinese culture and kind of mindset, there's a word actually that it means to endure. And the character for that word in Chinese is a heart with the tip of a blade over it.
Oh wow.
So to endure in Chinese is to like push forward with a knife in your heart. Like could be thought of. It's not a direct translation or anything, but Chinese is a pictorial language. So that's literally what the character says. And I think there's a lot of strength in that. And in Brazilian culture, there's just so much warmth. I mean, you're Brazilian, right?
Yeah,
like,
I'm Brazilian.
And
I'm Brazilian.
yeah, and everybody has a little, Brazilian and Portuguese is so beautiful because it's like people are dancing, man.
Yeah, there's this swang.
Cada pessoa
right?
tem uma ritmo, right? Every Brazilian person has their own rhythm of how they talk. It's like it's a lilting
How did you feel that as a foreign? Like
As a foreigner?
yeah, how impacts you? How did it impact you the first time you felt this culture of Brazil and having China and then living in America? And so, how was that experience for you?
Let's see. It's kind of interesting because on one hand, like, I don't know where I fit. That's on one hand.
Yeah, it makes sense.
On one side, I don't know where I fit. Am I Brazilian? Am I Chinese? Am I American? Like, I mean, really, the truth is, I'm kind of all three.
Yeah,
Right. I definitely have a very I've spent almost all my life living in America. I've visited different countries, but the majority of my life has been here. So that's definitely the primary cultural lens that I operate from, for sure. But in this moment, what I'm really appreciating is the harmonization of the three.
wow.
Right? Like, how could the independent, creative American meet the durable and connected, like, with your people Chinese and the cariñoso.
yeah.
How would you translate cariñoso?
Carinhoso would be, so, I don't know. In English, I would think it's soft or like someone that caring, right?
Yeah.
A caring, like a taking care.
Right.
How you say like someone that cares about others, like carinhoso, like
Yeah.
I don't even have.
I know, but it's a feeling, right?
Yeah, it's so
it's a whole
good
attitude.
to hear that actually when you said that. Wow. Even I don't use that much anymore. Like carinhoso, what is carinhoso again? It's like
yeah.
it's the feeling of being warm and simple and open, and that's actually beautiful. I have to give a star for my culture. I know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word. If anybody tells me about Brazil or asks me about Brazil, that's the first word that comes to mind.
First, so
word,
nice.
Carinhoso, because you feel it in the.
I see that you connect on that like a lot. That's why actually I feel like you have that wanted. It's passion of. Because you're learning Portuguese right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big, for me, when someone step forward to learn a new foreign language, they got immersed. And I feel like that a lot from you. Since we met, like the first time, it's like, wow, it's been a while I haven't seen someone immersed in the culture. Not like actually just trying to speak the language, but also understanding the moves, understanding the food and how people mindset works. Like I can see that on you as a learner. Because I did that with English. Like that's sometimes I feel like, where is my Brazil here? Because I devote to myself. I kind of like, I'm going to go dive in this culture because not only the language, not because I was like, oh, because it's not only the language. People think different.
Yeah.
And in language, it's a word, like it's massive, right?
Yeah, it's a world.
Yeah, it's a word like of perspectives, like
absolutely,
like
because with our words we make reality.
Yeah,
like that's what I had this thought. I mean, it's not really that insightful, honestly. I don't think.
No, it is.
I really don't. But with how we communicate means a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Like you can describe the weather in Seattle in the wintertime as either like
gray,
or gray or exciting.
Yeah.
Because when a friend of mine told me when it's raining in the city, it's snowing in the mountains.
Oh wow.
And that changed his perspective to be like, oh no, it's raining, to be like, oh yay, there's snow.
Yeah.
Right?
How about Brazil for you?
What do you mean?
If you would describe that example in the Portuguese language about the weather.
Just like how you.
Yeah, how would
you describe?
Yeah, how did you see that?
perspective?
How do you see that as a outsider?
Just the perspective, like in Brazil than here.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it actually when we were setting up. That jeitinho brasileiro, like there's gonna be a way. The jeitinho brasileiro means like the little way of Brazilians, I think.
Yeah.
Like the way of the Brazilian. And yeah, you see it in a lot of different ways. Like Brazilians are gonna figure it out.
Yeah. We always are figuring out.
Positive mindset, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a way. It's
We
whether
become even a joke. What the hell? What you just did? I don't know. I just figured it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
that's
I think
something,
that's the mindset, or one of the mindsets about Brazil that definitely makes me feel positive regard for that country and the people, the povo. That's the povo is. Sorry, I know this is an English podcast.
yeah, it's supposed to. But
we're dropping in some
Portuguese
lessons.
Povo. Yeah. No, tell me what is povo means.
Povo is like the population, the people,
but
the indigenous people. Right?
Yeah, definitely it is. And then in English, it's become octopus. Do you know povo?
Oh, I thought it was.
In English, it's octopus.
Oh.
But povo for us is people. But also it's also the octopus.
Okay.
So it's just like povo.
I thought it was.
It makes
lula.
sense, right?
Lula is octopus, no?
Lula too. I don't know.
Okay.
Should check on.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, yeah.
We're getting off.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
getting
getting
into
down.
vocabulary now.
Okay, tracking. Back on track. Yeah. So what do you bring? What do you think you bring the most like pressure? Bring from these two cultures? What do you bring from as you are from Brazil, China, and America? Just to wrap this up, like, what's your message, your inner message about so far, how you navigate your life today?
What comes up is inclusion. And I know that's just a single word. I'll expand. And the reason I said that is because I had mentioned, on the one hand, I'm not sure where I fit, right? Because of, am I this, am I that, am I that? But integrating all three. But on the other hand of, I don't know where I fit, is I inherently belong. And I think while I haven't felt specific, real deep ties to anywhere that I've lived, like even, where I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, or here in Seattle, where I spent the last several years, I think that the positive side of that is that I'm a global citizen. Like, I'm a citizen of the world.
Nice.
That's a really helpful flip for me.
Yeah.
So to include the people that are around you, to include yourself, wherever you are.
Yeah, you're never the same.
Yeah,
You're never going to be the same after that, the inclusion. Like, I feel like that, just like your eyes of how you live in this life, it changed too, right? Don't you think? Like, you see things in people different. Like, I think every travel, every connection, it changes, it shapes us different. But when it becomes a culture, whoa, it's funny because you're right. Like, there's this like a bit of a lacking of belonging. Should I, or am I like belonging in this place? Like, there's this shifting, this like earthquakes of, because most of people wants to belong. But then when you kind of have the soft acceptance of, wow, I actually belong everywhere, like, cause we do, we're just a matter of an ancestries. We can say that, but we
inherently belong.
Yes. Yeah, I think so too.
It's just there can tend to be blockages inside ourselves.
Yeah.
That don't let that feeling be there. And then, of course, like, we can't ignore that there's cultural and political and et cetera, like all these different structures. That's the word I'm really looking for. Social structures that can feel exclusionary, right? So, but at the core of it, if we strip all that stuff away, we inherently belong. Like, flowers belong,
Yeah.
The snow geese, they belong.
And
we're part of nature. Like, it's easy to forget.
Yeah, it is.
Because we're so smart. Like, I'm not saying me. I'm not saying me. I'm saying humans, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, we're so brilliant. We built buildings.
Yeah, you think you are.
We can make these streets and these walls, and then we're no longer part of nature.
Yeah,
we're crafting the world, but that's not true. Like, we're always inherently part of nature. It's just how well we remember that.
Yeah.
right? How can we?
We're forgetting, actually, right? I think
Well, if we, I don't know. I mean,
the tendency of filling nature with something else, it's make people forgetting, because or maybe it's gonna see one more of the things, like we all gonna collapse again, and then things gonna change.
well, I mean, I think we're always headed towards back to towards nature.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's just how are we going about it? Maybe in unhelpful ways or unskillful ways. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Like we know that we're part of the world, but yeah, if we forget it, we leave trash on the ground or
Yeah, daily gestures.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I think yeah.
it's all about remembering, keeping the memory alive. If we can find, I feel like that's a lot of the inner work, and also like the spiritual path is keeping the memory, the remembrance of how we want to be. Mm-hmm. Because it's easy to get bogged down in like, oh, I have all these constraints, and I can't do this, or the world is going to fire. Right now it kind of can feel like the world is. I mean, it is in a lot of upheaval, and I think that is true. And at different times, there's always been uncertainty and turmoil. I remember listening to and reading about Genghis Khan. Mm-hmm. There's a brilliant book called Genghis Khan and the Making of the Modern World, about how Genghis Khan, the things that he did, he committed tremendous atrocities.
Yeah.
Killed millions and millions of people. And at the same time, he was a promoter of freedom of religion. Now, the one thing about that was you can worship whatever God you want, but you got to also bend your knee to me.
Yeah.
So there's that as a caveat. But kind of interesting to like step back and without the judgment or evaluation of, oh, this person is doing horrible things, that there were things that this person did that were really actually quite helpful in the long term. But my point of bringing up Genghis Khan is like, since we have such a easy, constant stream of information from the entire world at all times, it can feel like,
It can feel like, because
Yeah.
I know, I get it.
Uh-huh.
But also it can unveil, like, unfold a lot of lack of preparation of how people dealing with the turmoil. It says a lot about you. That's what I think, like I don't want to call positive, but I call as endurance of, that's what I'm saying, like, who is actually prepared to feel it and stillness. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's the big thing for me. I mean, that's it's really a huge sign of what exactly going on inside of each of us, and I think fear, it's a big tool of transformation if you know how to use it, but cannot be something that holds you back to keep moving forward or to believe in hope. That's what I'm saying. I see that outside, or I see that with, everything, like it's been coming back, or actually it's coming to transform. Have you thought about like it? Is it really coming back, or repetition of, it's a call for transformation, If you get out of this material world and think in an invisible level,
like where are we headed as a species?
Yeah. Where are we heading at?
Zoom out enough.
Yeah, you got have this eagle eyes, right? Of like nature have, like expansion. Nature give those eyes of you feel small in front of the ocean, you know. You feel small looking to the mountain. You're nothing. You feel small in a hurricane. You know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I can't get intense on that, but it is what I believe that it either you come together or you just separate. That's two ways for me, you know? It's the two ways of surviving.
Turn right or turn left. Yeah.
Yes, because exactly, it's become more simple than we think.
Yeah.
Because we're thinking too hard to find solution. We fighting, but we're actually not. We're losing ourselves.
Losing yourselves. In
Yeah, because separation. Yeah, that's why I feel.
There's when you said the eagle eyes, I was actually thinking about this already, and there's a podcast creator named Joshua Schrey, and his podcast is about kind of what's happening in the world from a mystic lens, and the podcast is called Emerald, and in one of the episodes that he was kind of pointing to this reaction that we might have to how things are, of how can we be joyful?
Yeah, right.
How? Which is understandable.
On chaos, like how can you be joyful, happy?
Well, yeah, with all of this happening, right?
Yeah.
With the world kind of going to shit.
Yeah, tell me how.
How, it's understandable. And he kind of flipped it a little bit, and I really loved his flip was, it's an imperative that we must be joyful. We must be joyful, because
I agree fully.
to make the change, the positive change that we want to have for the people that are feeling like the world is going into hell in a handbasket, with that saying.
Yeah.
We must be joyful.
Thank you for listening to the Stories to Feel Alive. Feel free to comment, send suggestions. If you enjoyed this episode or we want to hear more, subscribe on YouTube or listen to the full version on Spotify. For those ones that live in Seattle, don't forget to check out Wei's website, which called themiddleway.com. Until then, take care of yourself, and I see you in the next one. Bye.
Energy.